festival of Navaratri is celebrated to cherish the victory of Dharma over Adharma. These 9 days are associated with the battle that was fought between goddess Durga and the demon king Mahishasura. Throughout these 9 days, the 9 avatars of the goddess, known as Navadurga, is worshipped, each day dedicated to one incarnation. Let us find out the story behind each avatar. Shailputri. Shailputri, meaning the daughter of the mountains, was born to mountain king Himavan. She is also commonly known as Parvati and is the first of the 9 Navadurga. She is depicted having 2 hands holding a trident on her right hand and a lotus on her left. Being the wife of Lord Shiva, she rides on his bull named Nandi. In her previous birth, the goddess was born as Sati, the daughter of Prajapati Daksh, to eventually marry Shiva and fulfill her role as the universal mother to nourish all beings. Despite her father's disapproval, Sati married Shiva. When Daksh organized a yajna, he invited all gods except Shiva and Parvati. Parvati, unaware of her father's arrogance and hateful motives, reached there without an invitation, upon which Daksha began insulting Shiva. Sati, being a devoted wife, could not tolerate this and sacrificed herself to the yajna fire. To fulfill the superior motive of universal welfare, Shakti had to take birth again in the form of Parvati, to marry Shiva again and bring him out of his ascetic's life into the life of a grihast. Brahmacharini. In the second avatar, holding a rosary in her right hand and a kamandala in her left, Brahmacharini signifies tapasya or penance. After the death of Sati, Shiva abstained himself from all material desires and went into a state of meditation that lasted for millions of years. When Parvati grew up, sage Narada told her that the only way for her to attain Shiva was to perform severe penance that would exceed her husband's. Determined to marry Shiva in this birth as well, she began her tapasya, giving up on food, water and air. Her penance lasted for thousands of years. In the end, Brahma appeared in front of Parvati and said that no one had ever observed tapa the way she did. Following this, Parvati came to be known as Ma Brahmacharini. Later, Shiva accepted her as his wife. This avatar of Ma Durga teaches penance, devotion, restraint and solitude. Chandraghanta. Upon seeing Parvati's strong resolve to attain him, Shiva gives in and accepts to marry Parvati. On the day of the wedding, Shiva reached King Himavan's palace in the most terrorizing form. His body was smeared in ash, with snakes all over his body and in the matted locks of his unkempt hair. He brought with himself the strangest wedding procession, also known as Barat, consisting ghosts, aghoris, sages, ascetics and every being unimaginable. Upon seeing this sight, Parvati's mother and relatives were left in shock, mostly out of terror. To avoid any embarrassment to her family or to Shiva, Parvati transformed herself into a terrifying form, Chandraghanta. In this form, her complexion is golden. She came riding a lion and possessed 10 arms. 9 of her arms carried weapons, while the 10th hand raised to bless her devotees. She married Shiva in this form, and the day of their marriage is celebrated as Mahashivratri. Kushmanda. Ma Kushmanda is worshipped on the 4th day of Navratri. It is believed that Kushmanda is the ultimate source of life. When the universe was non-existent and darkness was everywhere, she created the universe with her smile. The universe then filled with light and she began to live in the core of the sun. The gods she created then went on to create other universes and living beings. Kushmanda possesses 8 arms and rides a lion that evokes fearlessness in her devotees. She bestows all pleasures and her worship brings prosperity, power and salvation. Skandamata. The 5th avatar, Skandamata, literally means the mother of Skanda. Skanda is another name of Lord Kartikeya, often known as Murugan in the south. She rides a lion and has 4 arms. 2 of her arms carry lotus. 1 is raised in blessing, while the 4th holds her son Kartikeya. When Shiva became detached from the worldly affairs upon the death of Sati, demon Tarakasur had wreaked havoc on the gods. The demon had a boon that only the son of Shiva could kill him. Fearing that Shiva may never have a child, the gods rushed to Vishnu for help. Vishnu assured that Parvati is destined to be the wife of Shiva. Upon the severe penance of Parvati, when Shiva agrees to marry her, they combine their energies to produce a fiery seed. Agni, the god of fire, was given the responsibility to carry